says, you can handle the truth. If you have one, say amen.
Amen.
These words, you can handle the truth, may remind you of a very famous phrase from a movie that now is more than a few years old called A Few Good Men. And I always like tuning in on that part where the Jack Nicholson character is on the stand and the Tom Cruise character is interrogating him, and he's pushing him, and he keeps saying, I want the truth, I want the truth. And then the Jack Nicholson character has the line of the movie, which is, you want the truth? You can't handle the truth. And then he begins to then tell them the truth, amen? And before he gets up, and he said, now that I told you the truth, I'm going to leave and go back to my base. And they said, yeah, we really can't handle the truth. We're going to lock you up. And they arrest him for telling the truth. And sometimes sometimes it's our family members, sometimes it's our friends, sometimes it is our colleagues or co-workers, sometimes it's our neighbors, sometimes it is even the stranger. They can't handle the truth. You are trying to explain something to them. You think you have a very coherent and cohesive argument. You think you're laying it bare right before their eyes, just pointing it out to them as plain as you know how. And even though they hear what you say, at the end of the day, you get down and say, okay, now you agree with me, right? They say, no, I don't agree. They just won't seem to accept the truth. Sometimes I have found, this happens sometimes with my brother. My wife can tell you some stories about me and my brother. We get together, neither one of us can actually handle the truth. What would happen is he'll get on one end of the argument, and I get on the other end of the argument, and we just argue. And before one can finish making their point, the other one is jumping in to try to make their point, and we want to make sure that nothing that you just said to me is going to change my argument. So if you say it's blue, I'm going to say it's red. If you say it's up, I'm going to say it's down. If you say it is on the right side, I'm going to say it's on the left side. And after a while, it took an analysis by my late father for us to realize that we really weren't arguing about anything. We were just arguing for the sake of arguing because we both wanted to impress upon the other on whatever subject it may be. Name the subject, whether it's sports, politics, religion, food, even if we were just talking about the air that we breathe. And in analyzing that situation with me and my beloved brother, what it really was about was not necessarily about the issue we were discussing, because we could even take the same argument and he would use the argument to make his point, and I would take the exact same set of facts, almost using the same words, and use it to make my point. Pride, biggest culprit here. Prove who's right. Stubbornness, big culprit here. I'm not moving from my position. Some people just say, just just plain old ignorance. Because both of us would take 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. Mike Tyson's better than Muhammad Ali. Last time you argued Mike Tyson, this time I'm going to argue Mike Tyson. You get Muhammad Ali. I'm right. Ignorance. Now, I'm sure none of you act this way in your home. That when you're with your beloved, you don't get in a place where you can't handle the truth. I'm sure none of you have gotten into these petty, pride-filled, stubborn, almost ignorant debates with someone over some issue. And before you realize it, you're not even listening to the other person. You're just plotting to make your point the next time. As soon as they take a breath, you want lunch in there, right? But there is a serious side to not being able to handle the truth. And during the Passion Week, we have a case of someone who is unable to handle the truth. And it is peculiar when you study it, because in a real way, God first put the truth in his mouth. God then put the truth in the Lord's mouth. And then God put the truth in some eyewitnesses' mouth. And in each circumstance, this person could not accept the truth. This person is the high priest, Caiaphas. Caiaphas was the high priest for the year when the last year of Jesus' ministry, during the season in which he was crucified. You find, if you read in the Gospel of John, chapter 11, verses 45 and 54. This is right after Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead. And after Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead, people just became very excited about this man who could raise somebody from the dead. Because Lazarus, they knew surely was dead, because they put him in the tomb. He had been there for 4 days. When Jesus got there, they suggested to them that they roll the stone away from the tomb. They said, no, we don't want to do that because his body probably has decayed and it would probably smell bad. So they were certain that this Lazarus was dead. Jesus raises Lazarus from the dead, and Lazarus comes out of the grave. And then not only does he come out, and he comes back home. He begins to fellowship with his friends and his family, his sisters, Mary and Martha. So here is living proof of a miracle that Jesus has done. So the people were excited, they were ecstatic. Came to see this man, this one called Jesus. The excitement caught the attention of the chief priests in Jerusalem. They're upset. They're concerned. They say, you know what? All this commotion over this man Jesus is going to disturb the Romans and the Roman government. And they're going to come and they're going to shake this area up.